This campaign season has no shortage of issues, and the topic of the day sometimes seems to change by the hour, especially when the Liberals are looking for a wedge. But there's one thing no one seems to be talking about, and that's foreign policy. Yes, we're dealing with a lot at home right now. There's the pandemic, a housing crisis, the rising cost of living, and climate change. Those are just a few of Canada's long list of domestic problems. However, this doesn't mean political leaders or voters can simply forget about the rest of the world and Canada's place in it. None of the domestic issues I just mentioned exist in a bubble. Every single one of them is impacted by outside global players. It is a global pandemic after all, and we have to work with other countries on everything from future prevention and detection strategies to border policies and vaccine certificates. The housing crisis and rising cost of living also intersect with how we court foreign investors, international trade policies, and globalized organized crime and money laundering. As for climate change, that certainly doesn't stop and end at our borders. There are also more specific foreign policy issues that are no less urgent, including the fallout from our quick Afghanistan exit, the plight of the two Michaels in China, and the oft-forgotten about but increasingly contentious Arctic. And yet foreign policy won't be one of the 5 topics discussed at the one and only English language leaders debate. That foreign policy isn't included in this particular debate is less of an issue than the fact there aren't more debates, at least one of which would address important global issues. Avoiding foreign policy talk actually most benefits the incumbent Liberals, who have a failing track record on many of the main issues. Under their watch, we've continued to be a haven for international organized crime, allowed foreign investors to have an outsized influence on our housing market, and failed to free the two Michaels. Justin Trudeau has been soft and inconsistent when it comes to China and demonstrated a disturbing lack of preparation, planning, and understanding of the crisis in Afghanistan. He's also allowed our most key international relationship to falter. For a little while, poor U.S. relations could be excused by gesturing towards Donald Trump, but things seem even worse under Joe Biden. There's been an unexplained lack of reciprocation on border opening, and Canada failed to get so much as a phone call before the G7 meet on Afghanistan. This is despite calls going out to Britain, Germany, France, and Italy. So it's understandable Team Trudeau may not want to talk about foreign policy, but the other party sure should. However, it's not just about scoring points. More importantly, it really matters. Trudeau himself claims this is a pivotal period for Canada, and that includes at home and abroad. The world is different than it was pre-pandemic, and voters must decide how Canada will move forward in it.